What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at the game, coming at you with another Elune video. As always, thank you all so much for tuning in. I want to give you guys a big shout out. Thank you guys so much for the support in the first video. I honestly didn't think I was going to get a lot of support given the fact that it came like a week after launch, but needless to say, you guys got my back, so I'm truly forever grateful that you are continuing to support my channel regardless of what game I play. Now, in today's video, we're going to do what most YouTubers do when they make 2 videos in a time span of about 10 days since launch here. We're going to be talking about 4 things that you definitely need to know that you probably missed just as I did. Now, I want to put full disclosure on this video. You know, when it comes to new games and trying to get into it, as much as I want to jump into it and go super hardcore right away, I try to take a little bit of time, try to understand a little bit of things. So some of these first videos are going to be a little bit more for beginners, right? If you are severely OP and you're already sitting there like clearing proto, T310, then this is probably not going to be the video for you. However, you are more than welcome to leave a comment in the comment section down below, especially if you know a ton about this game. Let us know, or even stop on by at twitch.tv/childish402. Shameless plug, I know, right? Whatever, let's get into it. Okay, the first thing that we got to talk about, all right? I want to talk about team formations. Now, we showcased just a little bit of this when we went into the adventure mode. We were talking about the setup of your team, and I think I was using this one here. So funny enough, you probably saw this, you're like, oh, that's cool. You can set up 2 in the front, 3 in the back. You can mix up your elements or whatnot, and your elements fail, your classes, whatnot, and you're good to go, right? Well, the one thing I didn't mention here, and this is something that I think potentially could be overlooked if you're just like jumping into the game and going through the auto with your rarest units and calling it a day, is the team formations. Okay, so you actually got a couple of opportunities to change things up here. I think it's about 4 different formations to get a little bit more value out of the team that you're bringing. So if you're sitting here just kind of clearing regular content, yeah, sure, you could probably use a little bit more of an offensive setup here with like the attack one per se, right? But let's say you're having a hard time with some of those dungeons. Maybe you're working on a higher level of Treant like I am, throughout the day. You might want to go with something like the defense or even the charge. Charge is the setup, with a solo tank, which is actually, I think it's one of the more commonly used ones that I've seen thus far here. So, and then of course, as you can see, I've already leveled them all up. The money that gets into that, I don't think it's too heavy, especially when you first get into it. You're getting a lot of free rewards, free gold, with all the quest clears and whatnot. It's definitely worth the money. Put it into it. Don't even fret about it. You want to go ahead and level these up, okay? The next thing that we got to hit up here is the combat system. Now, I want to give a shout out to Mr. K Gaming. I've actually watched him throughout his journey in the Epic 7 community. He's a really knowledgeable YouTuber. So if you guys haven't checked him out, I will leave a link in the description down below. No, I actually left a comment on his recent video. Because one of the videos that I wanted to make for you guys was talking about the combat system, and I kid you not, he literally made a combat. He made basically a basic kind of guide to it, so that you guys go, you can get that knowledge in it. So I was like, okay, well, probably not going to talk about that, but there's probably one thing that I know that I missed when looking at the combat system. So we're going to talk about the combat system very briefly, and then we're going to get into one of the things that we're going to talk about. Now, disregard this match here, okay? We're autoing it. This is the farthest I've gotten. I'm not even worried about this. Like, we're whatever, right? So, the basics of the combat system, right? You have your little orbs that you're going to be collecting after every single turn. Then, of course, as you see on the 6th orb, you're going to get that bonus for whatever the case may be, right? This one here, it's going to give us +8. So after we use our abilities and it reduces our things, you're going to see the +8 come in, and we're going to be able to have a little bit more mana for your regular attacks here. Now, the one thing that I think people miss is the concept of swapping a turn. Now, obviously, it means nothing right now because, again, we're just autoing this. We're not even trying to work through this, right? But you can imagine the opportunity to swap a turn, especially when you're in a situation like this where things are pretty crucial, right? You have to, you want to take full advantage of your team, the units that are available, and you might find yourself in a situation where that the boss is going to be doing like a super big AoE. Your tank is set up. Your tank doesn't, do any damage, or he does damage, but not like super amazing. Maybe his, main skills are down or whatnot. So you swap the turn, swap it to Freya or whoever your healer is, provide yourself a big heal, or maybe you have somebody like Sela to provide the big barrier. In addition to that, bringing in that attack buff that you get. I mean, there's a lot of reasons for you to swap turns and whatnot here. But just kind of keep in mind that regardless of how like OP this sounds, this is not something that you can constantly cycle over and over again. But I just want to let you know, because this is an option that I think most people forget about, because we simply get up in here, do our auto, and just kind of go with the flow. Okay, now the next one has to go to another YouTuber side. Now this YouTuber doesn't need any introduction, because I've already showcased them countless times on my channel. Really knowledgeable person. This guy, he goes big or he goes home, and honestly, there's no home, okay? It's always big. Super hardcore influencer, and it's a pleasure to be able to work with him, Mr. Tectone, okay? If you guys haven't checked him out, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. One of the most knowledgeable people in the game. Sincere, genuine, great dude. You definitely need to go ahead and check him out, okay? Now, one of the things that when we first got started into this game, we both started at launch, we got into it, and I'm just like, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and make some content when I can, because I know I ain't gonna keep up with Tectone, man. This guy goes hard when it comes to the content, man. This is his life, this is his job, right? This is what he does. I'm like, so okay, I'll go ahead and just casually play, learn what I can do, you know, take a couple of days to figure out what's going on in those few days. Now I'm sitting here, you know, take a look at my team, playing around with stuff. I'm like, oh, right, let me figure out who's my first 6-star going to be. You know what? I'm going to go with McCarthy. I did McCarthy so I can, you know, have a little bit more AoE damage, clear the content a little bit quicker. And I'm like, yeah, super excited. All right, first 6-star. And then he sends me a message like later on, like, bro, I already got a full 6-star team. I was like, what? You got to be kidding me, man. How in the world does he already have a 6-star team? And then I told myself, I didn't even ask anybody else. I'm like, you know what? There's no way. It's whatever. He's just playing all day, all night. That's the only reason why I did it. And then I go by this stream, and I go ahead and hang out with the people, and everyone's like, oh, I got 5 6-stars. Oh, I got 6 6-stars. Oh, I got 4 6-stars. No big deal. Like, I get all these seeds every single time. Like, what are you doing, Childish? No, everybody got 6 stars with me, and I'm sitting here, what am I doing wrong? This is what I'm doing wrong, okay? This right here, training, super OP, okay? So you have the chance to put some of your 3, 4-star, 5-star, whatever units you want up in here, and take advantage of just extra XP throughout the day as you are doing your regular grind, okay? So basically the cycle is this. You go ahead and put the train in, you come back here, you hop into the fusion, you take those maxed out units, you level them up or fuse them up, get a new unit, potentially one that you really need, and you just you basically use it, right? You use it. If you want to use it for your core team, great. If not, that's another unit to go ahead and cycle again. And you know, all the other units that you collect through your regular fodder and whatnot, you can save them, put them in there, or you can scrap them, whatever. But the 3 stars, the 4 stars, obviously I'm going to be playing them in here. The Elune training system, super OP. So you're just going to make sure that you always have yourself, you know, those 5 units, go ahead and level up. And don't forget, I didn't even mention it, don't forget to go ahead and level this up, max level, use your gold. Again, you're probably like, oh my God, I'm low on gold. No. You want to make sure that this is maxed out. It is heavily worth your time. I think when you first start out, it's about 21,000 XP that you can get per day. And like I said, max level, 550,000 XP, way different than when you get first started here. So, and then last but not least, the fourth and final thing that I want to talk about in this video is gonna be gear. Now, gear, we already know this. You guys have probably played a ton of gacha games. We know that gear is super important. We know that we got to collect it, level it up, and we got to, you know, put it on our best unit so that we can get the best, you know, bang for our buck when it comes to clearing content in this game. Now, one of the things that you might have overlooked is the types of attributes that you can get. And some ones that you probably weren't even expecting. So if we go to, I'm going to go to my Elunes, and I'm going to go to Arslan here, because I'm actually back and forth as far as like trying to invest. I recently 6-starred Reveille, and so now my seeds are a little bit low. So as you can see, I'm going to have to wait a little bit of time, because I'm like, okay, well, you know, I got Arslan, I don't have Kai, you know, do I want to save up? You know, what do I got to do? I'm kind of going back in my head about that, because both of those are really good units. Needless to say, let's get back to the topic at hand here. The gear. Okay, so when it comes to the gear in this game, this is a little bit different than you see in most games. Some games you see, they have, you know, different gears with different grades, have, you know, pre-built substats into them. Some of them have a little bit more depending on the higher the, you know, the grade, or the higher the tier, so to speak, of that specific equipment, right? Well, in this game, all the equipment has, you know, no stats at all, and you just, while you level it up, while you level the gear up, you're going to be able to get some stats here. What most people don't know is that, one, you can get a substat that matches the primary stat, okay? And then 2, you can also get yourself For example, like these BJ shoes here, you can get yourself substats that actually are the same, right? You can get duplicate substats that are the same thing. So why is this important to you? For one, if you have a specific unit that has, maybe it has some kind of benefit that if you critically hit, you get X, Y, and Z. You got to do something for either you or your party. It may make sense to take full advantage of some kind of attack-based offhand that has a fairly high amount of crits, something that we literally get from other sets. You know, maybe we get a 10% bonus when we get a 2 set, or vice versa. There's a couple of sets out there that provide bonuses. Now, I mean, 22 crit on a thing, that is crazy, right? That is crazy. So, but then again, let's say you have the perfect team, you already have decked out gear, you have plenty of crit right now, and now you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm trying to get, you know, a ton of damage. I'm trying to figure out what I could do to improve that. Maybe I do want to take a unit that could provide, you know, this additional crit power here, even though maybe the stats are a little bit lower than my other, you know, 40 power BJ shoes, whatever, but this one right here provides me the extra critical damage that I need to just do that much more damage when I bring them in, whether I'm talking about PvE or PvP, right? It's all about min-maxing at the end of the day and providing the stats that you need for specific units, the units that'll let you get the jump on the content here. So yeah, that's pretty much it that I want to talk about, guys. That's 4 things that I'm missing right now. I promise you, there's probably going to be about 5 to 10 comments in the comment section down below as far as other things that I haven't even talked about in my first or second video. So take the time. Did I say take the time? Take the time to go ahead and check it out. And if you guys haven't already, please leave a comment. Give me a follow on Twitch, twitch.tv/childish402. Once again, thank you so much for your support, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care.